Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayawealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
Hey, let's get to it here this weekend. 302-330-2166, celebrating the holidays, Christmas, and New Year's. And, you know, we're getting all the emails like, let's take a look back on Spotify. What did you listen to the most? Or let's go back through your iTunes. What were your favorite songs this year? And I noticed Jared in the back office, Jared Politarhos, great guy, does a lot of all the social media work, works with people one-on-one every day at the Betrayal Wealth Group. He sent us an email. Here's what people were really talking about with the radio show, with podcasts, with what's on people's mind, especially in 2025. And one of the hottest topics is legacy planning.
Well, you know, Mark, everyone has a different answer for what legacy is, and it means different things to different people. Prime example, we'll have customers come in every day, and they say, you know, my goal when I pass away, my time is here to go home, is to have my last nickel spent. And that's a great answer. I don't know if it works for Leslie and I, but it's a great answer. Other people come in and say, you know what? I worked really hard for 30, 40 years, 90,000 hours. You worked really hard. And I want to leave as much money as possible to my children and grandchildren and my charities. I want to live that Spartan lifestyle, just, you know, rub together two nickels and just make it by.
Yeah.
And that's a great answer. Once again, it's not the answer George and Leslie are going to go by. Or you maybe want to live a great life and do everything you want to. And if there's build memories with your family, and if there's money left, great, but the kids will have the memories. When we meet with people, the answers are different because we're all different people. We help you get those things that you want to get done. You know, Mark, we talk about working 90,000 hours. We had some people in last week, and I can't use their real name, obviously,
Sure.
so call them Bob and Sue.
Okay.
And Sue is still working. Fantastic people. Bob kind of retired a couple years ago, and they are in a really good place financially. So we had our meeting. We're going over what's going on. How do you want to do your legacy planning? How are we going to go forward? And they said, our children are grown. If there's something left, great. But we are going to enjoy the next 20 years to the utmost. And that's a fantastic answer. So we help you build those plans to fit your needs. I think one of the things that are so important, and when you call us at 302-330-2166, is you always have a coach on a team, right? Every team has a coach. Our Eagles aren't doing very well right now, but we have a coach on our team. And he's the person who knows what every position is doing. Kind of like a family, a couple. One person in that couple always knows what the plan is for retirement. Always know where they're going to go in retirement, where the accounts are, what the investments are, what our withdrawal ratios are, all the answers. The other partner in this couple is like the second string quarterback on the team.
Right.
Where they're just sitting there collecting that paycheck, being happy the team's moving forward. We're really happy. And what we do here at Portray is we get the legacy together because the coach will come a time when the coach, A, doesn't want to do the job anymore, B, doesn't have the capability to do the job anymore, or C, unfortunately, passes away and goes home.
Right.
Now the second string quarterback is put in a position that they never wanted to do, were never trained for, and don't have a way to move forward, don't know the plan. That's really where I feel that we help tremendously with our family members at Betrayal Wealth, Mark. When they call us at 302-330-2166, we put that plan in place. We know where it's going. We help you get along. So when something happens to the head coach, in our example, the second string quarterback gets to live, thrive, and succeed and live the life that they still want to do.
Yeah.
That's really what legacy is about. Knowing about how we're going to disperse funds, how it's going to go, what our plan is, making sure that when our time comes, by having everything, all our ducks in a row, having that will and that trust in place, that we get to live our life and go. And whether that is going on vacation, whether it is making sure the children get money out of the estate, or our church or synagogue get funded, we get to do that. And we're going to help you move forward. Go to Portray Wealth, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com, or call me today at 302-330-2166, and let's set up that no-cost, no-obligation meeting. It's important to have answers.
Yeah.
We always use the phrase that we want to take the gray out of retirement and make it black and white. I like black and white. I like to have it real defined where we're going to go and how we're going to get there. And we're going to help you do that when you give us a call.
We got a call last weekend from a young lady who said, I've almost got too much money in retirement. I need you to help me build a plan so I can give the money to the kids and something else, especially this time of the year, be charitable with her money. That's a conversation that you have.
We do, because it's really important to understand what's going on. You know, I think we have clients come in all the time and they have a first world problem. And you might say, what is a first world problem? They have too much money.
Yeah.
They have too much money in qualified accounts. And when we talk about qualified account, folks, let's get the definition right. That's your 401k. That's a 403b. It's a 457. It's a TSP, federal employees. It is traditional IRA. Too much money that, because we were taught as young people that we don't have pensions anymore. Remember that time, Mark, when people used to have pensions? What a terrible word today, right? No one has them anymore, except for a handful. And that you should put as much money into these 401ks and save taxes today, because eventually you're going to be retired and you're going to have Social Security, and then you're going to fund your own pension with these 401ks. And people have done a great job. But we have so much money in these 401ks and TSP products, these qualified plans, that now I'm going to come up on 73 in a couple of years. Oh my gosh, I have a tax problem now. The tax strategies no one talked about, because you have to start taking money out when you're 73, right? A certain percentage. Let's call it 4% for easy math. I have a client came in and they have estimated we're going to have in 3 years about $3.5 million ballpark that we have to start taking out. What a great problem, right? I have to take this money. About $155,000 they have to take out to pay tax on. Well, what's that going to do for us? Well, that gives you a problem now with your Medicare costs, that IRMA, IRMMA, IRMA problems. Your Medicare goes up through the roof. Now we have to spend taxation, because taxes right now, we still have I'm going to say this word, a sale on taxes still.
Yep. There's
still a discounted rate, right? We know for at least another 3 years. But now I got to pay, I think taxes are going to go up in the future. They have to. So now I got to pay more in taxes. That's what this is all about. This is about planning, having that legacy. Tax strategies are such a big area that we neglected. And it kind of goes like people call into the show, and I'll call on the show next week, Mark.
Yeah.
I'll do it after vacation. And we just kind of put our head in the sand and we forget about it. It'll take care of itself. This is not taking care of itself, folks. We need to address this issue head on. Let's be proactive. Let's jump ahead of it. Let's be ahead of the curve. When you call me at 302-330-2166, we're going to have those discussions. That's part of the legacy planning process, about having too much money. Good problem, but how can we be in a better place? You know, our example we talked about a few minutes ago, maybe we start doing a Roth conversion. Not all the money, obviously, but let's do it in stages. We still have time to do that. And think about this for a second. We do a Roth conversion. Broad brush, folks, right? Generalization. And let's say we do $100,000, just as a number. Well, where are we going to pay for the taxes out of? We're going to have that discussion, where the money's going to come from. But then, after a couple of years, we put this into something that's going to produce totally tax-free income going forward. That's a pretty good problem for my children to deal with. They're going to get free money? Holy cow. I'm going to be able to use money and not have to pay tax on it? Oh, my Lord. You mean I'm not in a partnership anymore with the government?
Sign me up.
Holy cow, sign me up. But this is the things we're going to talk about when you come in. When you call us at 302-330-2166, these are the type of conversations we have about legacy planning, about being in the right place, making sure my family is taken care of. And I talk from George's point of view, making sure when I'm time to go home and I'm gone, that Leslie's in a great place, that Alex and Jared, Anna and Archer are taken care of when I'm gone. And that's my plan. It's not your plan necessarily, but it's the way that my wife and I feel about our plan. And that's what we're going to do. We always tease, and Mark gets mad at me about this, folks. So I don't want to be mean to him. Being that's the elf on the shelf, and Mark could be the elf.
A big elf.
We all wear different size shoes, right? I wear a size 15, and Mark, I'm being generous. Holiday season. Mark wears a size 10.
Oh, wow. That's the biggest foot you've ever given me.
I give it you,
It's
right?
a Christmas miracle.
Ho, ho, ho. But what's right for Mark is not necessarily right for me. And what's right for me may not be right for Mark. When we build your plan, we build it for you, the uniqueness that you are. I am not a big box firm. Quite honestly, we are a boutique office. You go to the big box firms and what do they say? Well, you're 70 and your spouse is 67. You fit into this box, and they slide you down the assembly line. We don't do that. I build this box, using their phrase, for you. How it fits your family structure, how it fits your plans, your wants, and your desires.
So as we're talking about what's been on the minds for a lot of adults to and through retirement over the past 8, 10, 12 months, something else kept coming up, and that's long-term care. It's something we don't like talking about because it's not always fun.
No, it's not. It's not spicy or sexy or
Ain't sexy.
ho 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 or any of those fun
Ain't
things.
Joyful.
But it's really something that I think people neglected and we need to address. And the problem is they think it's their father's Buick, and it's not. Because the problem with long-term care before, we're talking 15, 20 years ago, is that if you didn't use it, you paid a lot of money for it. If you didn't use it, you lost it.
Right.
Real simple. You spent all this money over these years and you dropped to have a heart attack. Hey, it's great. I didn't use the long-term care. It went away. My family got no benefits from it. I kind of just took an insurance policy out. But the way they've worked now is they've changed. And Leslie and I recently got our long-term care plan in place. Leslie's 61. I'm 59. Yes, she is older. And we did her. I had to get that shot in there.
Yes, sir. Good. I ain't mad.
But we got this for security because we always say there's good news for you and there's bad news. The good news is you're living longer, folks. Right. Congratulations. The bad news is you're living longer, folks. Congratulations. Now, I have people that come in all the time and say, you know what? I have a bucket of money, that first world problem, that I'm never going to use. And I'll use it to fund this long-term care if that arises. Pick a number, $300,000 you have put aside. The average cost for a long-term care per month in our area, folks, let's take the average, about $15,000 a month. That's $180,000 a year for one person. How long does $300,000 fund those things? Not very long. Now, there is a wide spectrum we can go with, and you can go for a couple like Leslie and I did, a couple. We have a monthly benefit that once something occurs and we have to go into a facility or stay at our house and need care, that'll pay us a monthly stipend for the rest of our lives. Is it $15,000? No. But it's going to be a nice chunk to take off that number. And we can never outlive it because we're living longer.
Right.
Leslie has longevity. Leslie's parents are 95 when they passed away. They have longevity. If you don't want that, maybe you want to go the average long-term care stay. Mark, how long do you think the average long-term care stay is?
3 years?
Close, 2.5 years,
Okay.
Unless you have Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, any of these severely
Then that turns
terrible
into memory
diseases.
care facilities. Yeah.
Exactly. These long-term cares now accept Alzheimer's disease. Before they didn't. They now cover it. So 2.5 years. So maybe we go with a long-term care plan that gives us a defined benefit for 6 years. More than enough time to cover you and make sure you're safe. But just like we build your plan, your retirement plan for you, we look at long-term care for your uses. And the other part of this, which is so important to remember, is what if we both die in a car accident? God forbid. We travel a lot together. We're on a plane. Something can happen. Our children get a death benefit. They get the money we paid into this. Alex and Jared get it. So I get to keep my money, do with what I want, and make sure that we're protected. And really, folks, when I talk about the long-term care, and I say this, and sometimes people take it this wrong way, so I apologize. Husband and wife come in. I am truly worried about the wife more than the husband. And I'm not saying that tongue-in-cheek at all.
I get it.
Statistically speaking, if you're the same age, health relatively the same, the females will outlive the males 6 to 9 years difference. And Mark, your wife is just like Leslie. and my sisters treat their husbands the same way my wife treats me, that they are the caregivers. I get a hangnail and I'm fussing, right? Leslie gave birth to 2 beautiful boys and she was up next day like, what's the problem? Why are you, whining? They are truly the stronger sex. If anyone thinks differently, they're confused. She's going to take care of me, but when I'm gone, who's going to be left to take care of her? That's how I look when I talk to people. I want to make sure we think about this. I don't want Alex and Jared to worry about taking care of mom. I want Alex and Jared to enjoy mom and have a great time with her. So long-term care helps us get in that place. When you call us at 302-330-2166, we'll look at the different options. And you don't need to use a lump of cash to pay for it. You can pay for it annually, monthly. It's built to your situation. But you need to address the issue. And folks, putting your head in the sand, being the ostrich, doesn't really work.
Nothing wrong thinking forward about 2026 and how to have your best year ever. So now is the right time to call George just to get on the calendar if you want to meet in a couple of weeks from right now. But if it's on your mind, you thought to yourself, man, I thought 2025 I'd have more income built for retirement. I'd have a better understanding of my tax strategies. Well, let's get ahead of it. 302-330-2166. We have a representative standing by right now. Again, 302-330-2166 or online at patriawealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com. From the homepage, you can shoot the team an email and schedule that consultation. Again, patriawealth.com. George, as always, thank you for the information and the education. We're back next weekend. But before we get out of here, let's give you a final word.
Thank you, Mark. We talked a lot today about long-term care, legacy planning, tax strategies. Give us a call at 302-330-2166, and let's schedule that no-cost, no-obligation meeting. Retirement's coming up really fast, right? We just got a year older, year closer. We need to start planning, being prepared for tomorrow. Give us a call, and let me help you be in the best place.
Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.